Hi guys, Francis here with TheBrimFactor, and in today's video we're going to talk about 4 ways that you can get a fully functional PayPal account even if you live in a country where PayPal is restricted. I'm also going to give you pros and cons of each of these ways, and so you want to stick with me to the very end of the video so that you don't miss any important detail. Okay, let's get into it. The first and most common method is using a VPN. Generally, VPNs are not a bad thing to use, and so people will often use the VPNs to switch their IP address to a country where PayPal is allowed, like the US, the UK, or Canada. But you need to keep in mind that this goes against PayPal's terms of service. Personally, I have tried it, and I can tell you for sure that this is one of the most unstable ways. It's going to give you a lot of headache. So I personally don't recommend it, but I had to put it in the list because it's still a viable way to get a PayPal account. But it's definitely going to get shut down at some point. It's not a matter of if, it's actually a matter of when. In my case, I remember that I used my account for a couple of months and it was working just fine with VPN. And one time I wanted to log in, I forgot to turn on my VPN. And once I logged in, my account was almost immediately limited. It's a little bit inconvenient because you have to remember to turn on your VPN before every single time that you want to log into your PayPal account. A solid VPN will cost you some amount of money. Personally, if I wanted to recommend, I'll recommend you use the NordVPN, but NordVPN will cost you somewhere around $3 to $9 every single month for subscription. And then for the pros, of course, you get a fully functional PayPal account and you have complete control of your account. So that's a good thing. And then the second one is that with a VPN, you can choose what country you want to your PayPal account to be of. So if you want to have a UK, US, Canada PayPal account, any single one you want to choose, you can just switch, turn on your VPN and select that country, and then you can access the website, create your account from that location. Now, moving on to the second way that you can get a PayPal account from a restricted country is having someone in a non-restricted country open an account for you and also help you manage the account. Okay, this is very common, especially for people who have friends and family, or even friends of friends, who are people that they generally trust. It could even be a spouse who lives in a country where PayPal is fully functional. They can help you create accounts, oftentimes with their own details or their own documents, and then help you manage it or give you the access, and then you can access the account from here or wherever you live. And you can also decide if you want to play it even safer. You can ask them to run everything for you. I know I've done this before with a friend, and I just had them run my account. Anytime I receive money, they will run everything and withdraw that money and then send it to me through Western Union. So I don't have to log into the account from my location, which is Nigeria, which could cause some issues. So this is a very good way, very simple way to get it done without any issues. But then again, of course, there are pros and cons. You have partial control of your account, okay, because you have somebody else helping you run the account. The second disadvantage is that there is an awkwardness of constantly inconveniencing someone. Personally, I don't like this because it's a huge inconvenience to have someone run your account for you. Unless you're paying them money for the service, then it might be less awkward, but I don't know, if you have friends, they might not want to take money from you. And so it will just make everything awkward. The inconvenience is something that is a little difficult and tricky to navigate. Now, number 3 is it is actually not as straightforward to open an account for someone even if they live in the US or any country where PayPal is allowed, because think about it, they might already have PayPal accounts and they have used their own documents to create those accounts, and then running one for you now might not be achievable. Okay, so it's not that straightforward. Now, to the pros, you have a bit more confidence because you're not violating any of PayPal's terms of service, because the account is created legitimately in a country where PayPal is allowed. You don't worry so much because when a document is required, sometimes PayPal will require for you to provide a document like your international passport or whatever document was used to create the account. That will be easy for you to do because you have someone who actually created the account over there, and they can provide all of that document and sort out any issues that may arise. The third method is registering your company as an LLC in a non-restricted area. Now, this is by far one of the best and the most professional ways to do it. There are so many companies that offer the services of registering your business, even if you're not living or you're not a citizen of a country like the US, the UK, or Canada. You're a foreigner, you may not even live in the country, you may not have ever even visited the country, but you can register your business in that country. With that business entity you have created in that country, you can now go on to create accounts as you like. So this is one of the best ways to do it. Now, to talk about the pros, it is very professional international and legal. So you can register your business as a sole proprietor or an LLC or a full-on corporation. With whatever tier you go with, there might be other perks. Okay, some of the perks that might come or benefits that might come with this could be a business address in the country that you have registered your business. So you might get a virtual business address, which you can now use to create your PayPal accounts and other accounts. Another major advantage is that you can now create not just your PayPal account, you can go ahead to create Stripe accounts or even an actual bank account with your business registration details. All the other options, you are only doing this on PayPal, but with a business name registration, you can go on to unlock other online platforms for your use. And especially one big one is having a bank account. Of course, there are virtual bank account providers like GigPay and Gray, and even Payoneer gives you a virtual bank account, Wise, but the difference is that those are not actually bank accounts with those banks. But with a business name registration, you can have actual bank accounts even though you don't live in that country. Now, there are a ton of companies that offer LLC formation services for foreigners. We have a very detailed blog post on this particular topic. I will leave a link to that in the description. The post goes into detail into their services, the pros and the cons, the prices. So you want to check that out and then make a decision for yourself. Go ahead and pick one of the services that we recommend and use it for your business. Leave a comment in the comment section if you'd like me to make a more detailed video on how to register your business as an LLC in a country like the US, the UK, or Canada. So I promised you 4 methods. So the final method is actually creating a fully functional PayPal account without necessarily using a VPN. And yes, it is very possible. And I show the methods on how to do this on this channel. I have about 2, maybe 3 videos on how to do this, and I renew these videos almost every single year. So I'll leave a link to those for you to go and watch them and possibly try them out for yourself. I'm not going to go into too much detail into this because I have videos covering that. But to talk about the cons, first of all, you need a few documents, most importantly, an international passport or a driver's license. But personally, I would always highly recommend you using an international passport for this purpose because it's the one that would most likely guarantee success. One of the major advantages is that it requires no VPN, so there is little to no stress or no worries as to breaking PayPal's terms of service. Number 2 is it is relatively more stable compared to using VPN. Some of my accounts are upwards of 3 to 4 years old without any issues at all. So it's not to say that it will work 100% of the time or you will never be limited, but it's just a lot more stable in my experience. If you want to learn more about how to build a successful freelance business, productivity tips, how to get paid by international clients and stuff like that, then this is the community for you. Hit the subscribe button and I will see you in the next video. Take care.